I got a Gravity L crankcase here, the motor. I noticed there wasn't nothing on YouTube about a crankcase that's all tore down to show anybody the internal works. So I'm in the process of cleaning this one up. It's my first one, and I thought I'd make a YouTube video because I did not see none on the YouTube world. So here we go, Gravity L. Here's the back cover to it, and there's two bushings here on each side, the front and back cover. They're all brass bushings, and what I've been finding out, they're pretty much invincible. They just hold the camshaft, the other end of the camshaft. And there's one seal here for the long shaft for the magneto, for the timing. And it's just a simple seal. And the cases are very simple. There's really nothing to them once you get them apart. So that's the back of the cover. And here's the front. And here's the camshafts. There's two of them. And they just very simple to manipulate. There's nothing tedious to them. And in the process of me doing this, I had to replace this one bearing, which was absolutely nothing to replace. It was really wobbly. So that was only like a $12 bearing. So that, I was glad to get that replaced so that there's no wobble there. And there's 3 timing marks on them. 1, 2, 3. So I knew to leave that on the upside. And I replaced this bearing. It's for the crankshaft. I felt like it was sticking a little bit, and it was only like $22. And I felt like that's going to help the whole system. Here, let's turn this over. And here's the oil pump. There's really nothing to the oil pump. 2 gears. This one's on a little stud. And this gear here goes all the way through the case. And this one just snaps on. There's no timing mark to them or nothing. And the oil pump, this is the gear for the oil pump. It's a tapered shaft with a half moon key in it. And there's a brass fitting, a bushing behind there. It didn't seem to be worn, none. Absolutely none. So I didn't fool with it at all. And this is a timing gear for the camshafts, which is no big deal. So I'm in the process of cleaning all this up. Let's see here. Here's the intake camshaft. There's the And in the process of doing this, I also thought this camshaft was wore down a little right there. See how that's, to me it looks worn. I'm going to call some gravy people today. And this one here seems not to be. It has a lot better hump to it. So I detected that yesterday. So I'm going to do a little research on that. I'm going to call out to Richards, and they've been a lot of help. So that's all there is to them crankcases. Just pretty much absolutely nothing. Just now here is the there's a two-piece crank, which I'm not going to take it apart because you got to have a balancer to put it back together. But here's the rod on it. But I've been finding out these rods are almost invincible. So there's absolutely no play in this, up and down or side by side. Absolutely none. And I did not do anything to the crank, because that rod seems to be perfect. I just can't find nothing wrong with it. Like we talked, and this is the bearing that goes on the front. It's a ball bearing. Here's the old one right there. But on the back there's a brass bushing. It's a bearing, and the oil pressure runs through there. And it oils it and everything. It runs right through the case. Let me find the hole. There it is, right there. And it runs through the back of the case into that bushing. And what I've been finding out, everybody's telling me they never wear out. They said the crank wears out before that bushing wears out. And there's a timing thing there. So when you put it in the case, them holes line up for the oil pressure. And that gear goes to the sun gear to run your planetary system. So I ain't gonna take this apart. I'm not able to. I ain't got no equipment, but it don't need nothing. I took a can of carburetor cleaner, cleaned it up, and there's really not a lot to these things. And I just very amazed how easy they are to operate. There's that new bearing there. So there. I'm going to find out about this cam. You can even tell there's a difference there. So I might have to get a new lobe for that, or get another used one out of another block. But virtually there's nothing to these. So I just thought I'd try to show everybody the inside of a case, because there wasn't nothing on YouTube at all. Here's one moon key, half moon key. And here's the oil pump seals, cover. There's nothing to them. So I put 2 seals in there to make up for that one wide factory seal. And that's all there is to it. I mean, nothing spooked me, and I'm not a mechanic, so I don't see why anybody else would have any problems out of it. Look at there. Did I go right over yonder? And here's for your oil lines coming in and out of the crankcase to the bottom of your grave rig to retrieve the oil. I mean, it's just that simple. Alright, I just want to show everybody the inside of a grave rig so anybody wouldn't be. So there we go. Alright, there you go, y'all.